Today I'm going to show the new way that we can run HARAs within Saphira. So we can click on Run Safety Analysis. We're in the typical palletizing robot 2 project. We can click on HARA, and we now get a new view. So this new view is as follows. So once we're in, you get a bunch of project information capture. Now, all of this can load from the project, or you can manually enter it on a new project, or you can click Fill Demo Data so you get some information put in here. So this autofill is the project name, the description, the operating environment, but you still have to select a machine type. So we've done that, and we can continue. So we auto-populate some operating modes. You can add more and add some description to what each of them entails. So for example, we could add a cleaning mode as an additional one we want to include. So now we auto-source a number of hazards based on the details we have seen so far. So you can see that these ones are just in demo. So let's actually try to auto-produce one using some of our latest technology. Now, one of the things I'll mention is that one piece you haven't seen so far is the ability to, for example, source template risk assessments from equipment that's included in your work cell. So that's one of the next coming workflows. So let's click AI Generate to generate a new one. Okay, now we're in the Generate Child Components view. So you can see we're going to generate a HARA. Let's limit this one to just one hazard and say we're going to generate this using the industrial standard. You can also upload a custom standard, select one of the other ones. Those are kind of useful because they tell you about a bunch of different types of hazards that they include. For example, if you were to use 13482, you get personal care robot hazards. 12100 has a bunch. And there's some really cool ones, like, for example, if you upload a CAD model or a video and select 13857, we can comment on your safety distances. So let's actually do something pretty interesting. Let's try to include a detail of the system that wasn't previously included. For example, a humanoid robot that might be interfacing with this particular system. So let's upload one of those images and take a look. So I have a humanoid somewhere in here. Let's just search for humanoid. And if I scroll down, I'll find that one. I think I have it right here, humanoids title pick. There we go. So it'll show up really small when it finishes uploading, but it should be there. Let's verify it. There it is. So you can see this tiny picture of a humanoid, and let us generate this item. There we go. So it's passing through that image, and it's going to bring us back a hazard, one hazard specific to that value. Let's give it another minute. And you can see, because it's a pretty big image, it might take a second. All right, I'll pause and be back as soon as it loads. All right, so right here, it looks like it loaded. It populated back 3 hazards into here that are super relevant. So we have a hazard, a crushing hazard due to robotic arms movement in the production cell, operator injury from crushing by robot arm. We have some pretty nice rating on that basis. You can see that we don't use the standard 1200 or 1349 because we add in controllability. This is all configurable in the project, so you can use whatever methodology you like. We just use a superset of all of the possibilities that we have. So we have electric shock risk, we have risk of burns, and a bunch of these items. All right. Cool. So now that we have that, you can continue this one, and you get some suggestions of safety functions. So if we were to hit AI Generate here, we'd be able to suggest some more safety functions that might apply to your project. And here is one of those generated safety functions, actually a few of them. We have an ESOP system that immediately halts all robot movement when a button is pressed, light curtain position around the robot's work area, safety look at the gates, electrical component inspection, and installation of protective covers, and ergonomically designed workstations. So we can get pretty deep with some of this. And finally, you can add test cases if you would like, or just hit Generate HARA. This gives you all of this in our internal format, so it's shareable across projects, or you can just save it to this project. And as soon as that happens, you can, it takes a sec to go through, and it'll give me a toast when it completes. See, there we go. You can export this in Softema or Sistema format, and then you can actually use this in your projects there. So check it out. We'll have some more features soon. Thanks for watching.